Welcome to my channel, friends. So, in this lecture series, I'll be talking about how both your commercial packages and AI tool can be used to conduct the research. So, in the first session, I'll be talking about how we can perform thematic analysis using Chat GPT and NVivo. So, as you know, that thematic analysis is one of the prominent way of conducting qualitative researches, and it can be defined as method of for identifying, analyzing, and reporting patterns within data, and it is widely used in qualitative research. And I would like to draw an analogy between thematic analysis and a factor analysis in the sense that in quantitative research, we conduct a factor analysis, and what is the premise of factor analysis is those variables which are closely related with each other, or in other words, if there is a high degree of correlation between the variables, they are being grouped together. So similarly, what would happen in the thematic analysis is we would be identifying something called as code, and those codes which are similar to each other would be grouped together and would be termed as themes. So, so we can understand this way that it is also kind of a in a qualitative research we do it this way. And thematic analysis is different from content analysis in the sense that in thematic analysis we do it in the sense that we would be first reading the text, then identifying the codes from the text, and those code would be clubbed together in order to form a theme. On the other hand, in content analysis, we would create a silos, or we will create a broader understanding of certain no uh, certain terminology, and based on those terminology, we would identify certain text and we'll segregate those texts. So that is a content analysis. I'll be talking more detail about content analysis and thematic analysis when I'll be recording lecture on content analysis. So as I have been using the term code, so what does the code means? It is nothing but a label or a tag assigned to a segment of text that captures an important aspect relevant to the research question. So it's like no, when you are reading a text or when you are reading any piece of text or any document, and then you know label it them. For example, when you say, okay, I studied there in this particular so and so place, then I got no job in that place, and then I visited that place. Then place becomes a code. So because then you have created place as a label, and then all the text related to the place would be put into that particular code. So code is nothing but a piece of text which you assign. So like when you read something, some article, when you read a no newspaper, or when you read a novel, or you read, then you underline certain things and group them into relevant terms. So that is the code. And now, what is a code? Code is nothing but an aggregation of your a theme is nothing but an aggregation of the code. So those codes which are similar to each other, they are being clubbed together, they are being aggregated, and that is termed as theme. So let me give you an example. For instance, you are understanding, you are trying to understand what are the challenges of the online education. So let's say you find you come across answers like that. We do not have a personal computers, or I got distracted by my family member, or that there is a poor connectivity at my place, or there is no super support from the institution, or the curriculum is not well designed. Now, those all suggestions or those all texts can be clubbed into two, or they can be segregated into two major things. For example, what are the personal challenges and what are the institutional challenges? So let's say do not have a proper internet connection, or I get distraction by the family member, are personal challenges. And similarly, poorly designed curriculum or lack of infrastructure at the institution are the institutional challenges. So these would become a category. So code forms a category, and category emerge as a theme. Now, what are the typical steps of conducting thematic analysis? The literature suggests that we should follow a five-stage procedure for conducting thematic analysis. First, you have to be familiarized with the data. That's the most important part, because you have to read and reread till you get no clear understanding of what this text is all about. Once you read the data, then you have to generate the initial codes. After reading the text, you would identify, okay, this piece of text is talking about this. So you summarize them in the form of code. Then based on the code, you would search for the themes. you would generate the themes. Then you would be reviewing the theme, as in whether these themes are truly reflecting this code and these codes are truly reflecting the text or not. So that is also a very crucial step as far as the thematic analysis is concerned. Then finally you assign a label and name these themes, and then you produce the report. Now I'm going to discuss about how we can do it in, let's say, commercial softwares like NVivo. So let's say this is an interface of NVivo, and we can import a data file from this tab. Let's say you go to files, uh, and then you go to coding as a file, and then you say open, and then you import this file. So once you import this file, uh, you got this file in your NVivo interface. And now let's say if I have to, let's see what are the contents of the this particular file. So let's say this, there has been a research which has been conducted that how campus life can be improved. So somebody has suggested there should be more live music in the campus. Somebody, the respondent number 2 has suggested better food option in cafeteria, organized car parking, and so on and so forth. So this is the raw data or the text which is available to you. Now, one way of doing it is you identify each, you read each text and then identify a particular code. So let's say more live music. So I would say, okay, this is more like an entertainment. So I go to Control F2, and then I create a code like, let's say, new code as an entertainment. So this becomes a code, and then you say new code, and now this has been saved under the code of entertainment. So similarly, let's say there should be a better food option in cafeteria. So you are writing, let's say the next code is control F2, and I have already a code like food. So I'll just select that text into that code, and then I'll say it would go to the food. So let's say the next suggestion is about better car parking. So what I'll do is I go to this particular text, select this particular text, better organized car parking, control F2, and then I select a new code, let's say, and I call it this is an transportation. Transportation, and then you select you select no select this particular text to the transportation. So this is how you have to do it when you are reading it, and then assigning this code to a particular this piece of text to a particular code, and then you aggregate all the relevant code and emerge as a theme. That is one way of doing it. That is the most effective way. But the only problem with this method is that if the data is voluminous, if there is a huge data which is available, let's say if you are emerging themes from a large number of the reviews or any other data, then it may not be practically possible to read each and every piece of the text and then assign the label and come out with the themes. So what is the alternative way? You go to the file, that let's say this is a coding as a file, then you go and say code auto code, then you say identify themes, then you say next, and then what would happen is this software, based on the text which has been being supplied to it, and based on the uh, algorithm which is, it would identify certain themes. For example, it is identifying thing as food option, campus transportation, parking, student, computer, and then you just simply say finish. So your themes would be generated as far as this software is concerned. So the themes have come up now, and software would come up with a theme. So let's say the software has come out with a theme like student, computer, food option, campus transportation. If you want to see a particular theme, then you can press this button, and then you'll get to know what are these themes are all about. But the real challenge which I observe here is, because this has been done so mechanically, and at times it may not make sense also. For example, student per se has no meaning, no identifying as a theme. So you have to modify it, and then you have to refine the algorithm, or you have to prompt the NVivo to do it in a manner that it is more appropriate. So another way uh, of doing this could be that you just make a text query search and identify what are the top words, and then identify those top words as a keyword, and then you identify them as a chord, and then you segregate all those texts. So that is another way of doing it. So let's say you go to explore, and then you say word frequency, and then you identify the top 10 most frequent word or top 5 most frequent word, and then run a query, and then whatever word comes out to be, let's say campus, so I go to the word campus, and then what I'll do is I'll probably identify each variable where the campus has come. So I'll select this particular text and term this as a code, and all this similar code would be grouped into a text called or a label called campus. So that is a better way of doing it in as far as the NVivo is concerned. But today, my focus is more on how we can make use of the AI tool. For example, this is the Chat GPT's interface. So I upload a file here, upload from computer, and let's say I want to upload this particular file coding. And then the first thing which I would be prompting the Chat GPT to is, can you write summary of above above text in 20 words, let's say like this, and then I press enter. So a 20 word summary has been written here, and now I want, so you might not find this to be interesting in this case because the text itself is so small. But imagine your situation where you are running transcripts of 20 pages, 30 pages, 50 pages, or no large number of transcripts are there, and you just want to give a snapshot or summary. Then this command would be very handy when you are especially conducting an in-depth interview, and each interview is running in 5-6 pages, and let's say you've done 10 such interview, then it would have a summary of 56. I mean, you would have a data of 56 pages. So you would like to summarize it in 2-3 pages. Then only you would, you would be able to appreciate this particular function. But the next thing I said, okay, can you identify codes from text? Each code should be 2 to 5 words. And there we go. And look at this. The software had identified certain codes, right, based on the text which has been supplied to the Chat GPT. Can you identify themes based on codes? Each theme should be 2 to 5 words. And don't worry about the exact number that I'm saying every time I'm prompting it to be 2 to 5 words. It is up to you, absolutely up to you. I just want it to stick to 2 to 5 words. That's the only reason. Otherwise, as such, there is no such requirement that it has to be restricted to 2 to 5 words. So ChatGPT has restricted it to the 4 theme. And the good thing is now it has clubbed all this code into major theme. For example, entertainment and amenity is one theme, food and dining is the another, campus facility and transportation and fees is the 4th theme. Can you present, let's say you want to present this in the form of a table. Can you present about text in tabular form? So what we expect, the software would the chat GPT would convert this text data into a table data, wherein in one column you would have a in one column you have a code, right, and then in another column you would have a uh, themes. Okay, now I want to do it further in the sense, can you identify similar codes and group them in the form of themes in table, right? Now, can you insert third column with excerpts? Now, that's very important because we want to be doubly sure that this particular AI tool is generating this course only from the text which we have supplied. It should not generate text its own. That's very important because at times this AI tool has a problem that no, they would generate certain tools with the uh, with their own this thing. So, for example, more live music has resulted into a code of live music, and that is a theme. The part of the theme is the entertainment and amenities. So, then I would what I'll be doing. The next thing is I don't want these many themes. So let's say, can you club relevant themes? Relevant themes, right? So we got all the relevant codes have been clubbed into one, and you have presented in the form of a course and excerpts. Now, can you present above output in the form of chart? So why we are doing it? Because the reason being, let's say if you do not have an access to NVivo, or your NVivo license expires, or let's say any reason you do not have an access to any qualitative software. So with the help of this AI tool, you can do this. So for example, it has been beautifully presented at no, a bar chart wherein major theme have been identified and how many times a particular code has appeared, so that you can easily make it out and present in the form of your no thesis or a research work. Now the main question comes in that main question comes in whether I should use Chat GPT for this particular purpose. So this is a very frequently asked question, whether it is sensible to uh, use Chat GPT for data analysis like this. Well, my take as a researcher is using Chat GPT, or for that matter any other AI tool like Pardrill or any other AI tool, for analysis is not a problem. The challenge is that the problem is if you use this tool for data creation, then it is really something which is not desirable. Or if you make use of this AI tool to write your report, that is something which we should avoid. Otherwise, like any other software, you are just giving input in the form of a file, and then you are getting the analysis done by the any other packages. So therefore, doing analysis is not a problem according to me. But if you ask what is the position, whether it is acceptable in the academic parlance as of now, uh, well, the answer is, as of now, there is no such acceptability. So my suggestion to you is, it can be used judiciously, but it should not be abused. And you must have observed when I was giving it a prompt, then several times the results were coming out to be different. That's quite okay. As in, as more and more times you would be training the machine or this algorithm, you would get a better result. So I've just shown you the path. Refinement can be done to a great extent. I myself has done in a lot of hidden trial, and I've done a lot of refinement as far as this output is concerned. So more and more times you will be doing trial, and then the output would be refined. That's the beauty of this AI tool. So I sincerely hope that you would be benefited by this particular tool in your research. So I shall be meeting you with another technique in the next lecture. Thank you so very much.